Hey y'all, it's CJ in the morning where faith meets real life and grace shows up with a little grit. I'm here to pour you a strong cup of courage, stir up your spirit, and remind you that no matter what today looks like, you were made for it. Let's shake off the noise, hold on to what matters, and get your heart pointed true before the world even knows you're awake. Welcome to your morning reset. Let's dive in. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to CJ in the morning where we talk real life, real struggles, and the real grace that holds it all together. Y'all, the verse we're going to be talking about today is Philippians 2:3. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, rather in humility and value others above yourselves. So, I hope y'all got your coffee this morning because some of y'all ain't gonna like this. See, some of y'all gonna be like, "Zeta is tripping. She needs to stop with that." But nothing gets my dander up. Y'all like that word, my dander? Nothing gets my dander up than selfish people. I don't like selfish people. I do not like unkind people, and we're gonna talk about it today. So make sure that coffee's strong and pay attention because we want to talk about when love steps aside. You hear me? Love steps aside. And y'all are over there like, what? What do you mean love steps aside? Love don't step aside. Love never quits. Love is always there. No, sometimes love steps aside because that is always the ultimate sacrifice. So it could be the bravest thing that somebody can do is nothing. Sometimes you just got to do nothing. If you love something, sometimes you got to let it go. And that's gonna mess you up. It's literally gonna twist your insides up, it's gonna mess with your mind, and it's not because you're giving up, but because you're loving someone enough to put them first, even when it stings the living get out of you. It's literally it's gonna punch you in the gut and take your breath away. But if it's better for them and you truly love them, channel your inner Elsa. Seriously. That's the hardest part. That's what people don't understand. Because as humans, we are ordained inside of us to think about ourselves. We're all out to get ours. We're all out to make ourselves feel better, all yada yada yada, all this great stuff. I come up with all kinds of words. But seriously, if you are truly about the other person, if you are truly in love with them, if you truly love them like mother loves a husband loves a wife loves a husband, you love an animal. Because I know a lot of y'all be hoarding some animals and you know you're not taking care of them. Let them go. Quit hoarding them because you think you're doing something for them. You ain't doing nothing for them. If you love that child so much, but you know you can't care for them, you know you're not doing anything, you're trying to keep them from another parent, don't do it. Quit. You love somebody so much, but you're sitting there putting them down every single day. You ain't doing nothing for that person. Just stop it. It's human nature to want to fight for what's right. And we get that. You want to stand your ground. You want to be present where you believe that you belong. And we all do that. It's like, I'm fighting for this one. I am fighting. I'm not giving up. I'm in it to win it, all that other stuff. But sometimes love is not about proving your point. Honey, your point don't matter in every single situation. Your voice doesn't have to be heard sometimes. I know some of the women out here are like, girl, my voice needs to be heard. I'm woman, hear me roar. Child, please. I've been there, done that with the big dogs. And then there's some men out there going, you're going to hear what I got to say. I am a man. Sit down, baby boo. Sit down. You've got to protect not only your heart, but you got to protect their heart as well. There's moments when you desire to be there and to show up and to be a part of something very important, but you got to take a back seat. And it's not because that you're wrong, but because the other person needs that space. Because sometimes it's about them and not you. Other people's special stuff is about them. You know, a lot of gut-wrenching moments was when my kids were growing up, and I asked them if they wanted me to be there during important events in their lives, and they were like, "No, mom, I'm okay." And all I wanted to do was take pictures, be in their space, be there with them, and they didn't want me there. And I had to take a back seat because they were becoming teenagers and they were embarrassed to have their mom around. And I had to be okay with that. I had to allow them to grow into the humans they wanted to be. And a lot of parents are out there going, "No, you got to show up for your kid. You got to be there. You got to yell in the stands." Do you know sometimes embarrassing your child is not the best thing that you can do? You know, a silent presence is also a present presence. Your child still knows you're there because when you're sitting there making it all about you, making sure you're heard, you're making it about you. You're not making it about them. Have you ever really sat down and asked them how it makes them feel? What's really going on in their head? There, and it's not just about the kids. What about the person that doesn't invite you to the promotion party? What if they really don't like those public displays of stuff? You know, I got promoted to staff sergeant in the Air Force, and growing up, I never had anyone go to anything for me, so I really wanted people to show up for me. And when I got promoted to staff sergeant at the time, my significant other did not. And the and he was so upset that he did not get promoted. His ego was hit because his female wife got promoted before him. He he refused to go to the promotion party because he thought everyone was gonna look at him like, "Your wife can get it, but you can't." So I went to my own promotion party without my significant other. And it was so sad because all I wanted to do was celebrate with him because look what we had for our family. Look how much more we could provide for our family. But he was worried about his ego. Imagine that. And I didn't say anything to him because for me, I wanted to be there for him. I didn't think about my promotion in that moment. It was mandatory that I attended or I would not have attended. I would have given up my own promotion ceremony to be there in his upset because he did not get promoted. I would have put aside my own gain in order to be there for him. But he could not put aside his own upset to be there for me. And in any relationship, you both have to celebrate each other. You both have to be there in each other's struggles. Sometimes it's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you your pride. Pride's one of the seven deadly sins. Think about it. It's going to cost you your presence. Sometimes you're not going to be where you want to be. Like I said, my kids didn't want me to be at certain events. I wanted to be a band parent so bad. My daughter was like, "No, mom, it's okay. You don't need to go. You don't need to help with these. There's plenty of other parents already helping." And I'm like, "But I want to be one of those parents." But she loved those other parents. She connected with those other parents and she didn't need me there. But guess what? That's real love. That's Philippians 2:3 in action. In humility, value others above yourself. It's not weakness. It's called maturity and it's called wisdom. There's a difference between fighting for what you love and forcing yourself into spaces when your presence might cause more harm than healing. Have you thought about that? Have you thought about what you're doing and how you're harming other people by forcing yourself into places you don't belong? You've got to ask yourself, am I doing this for me or am I doing this for them? And sometimes you literally have to put yourself through the ringer in your own head because you've got to pay attention. If you can't sit down with yourself in silence and know yourself wholly, then how can you truly be there for somebody else? Real love, God's kind of love, sometimes looks like stepping aside, not out of fear, not out of defeat. Oh, I can't let this other person get in there because that's my space. Miss me with that, okay? But out of respect for the greater good. It's not about being right. It's about doing what's right. Think of Jesus, right? He had every right to defend himself before Pilate, but he stayed quiet because the fight wasn't for his pride, it was for our salvation. Jesus could have fought all kinds of folks. He could have called my father. He could have said, Dad, fix it. He could have said, you know what? Y'all wrong. You ain't about to call my name out like this. You're not about to put me up on that cross. But he said, you know what? I will show all of you in the ways that you're wrong. I don't have to sit here and force myself because the ones that truly want to be saved, the ones that truly deserve it, no. Does Jesus or God force their way into your life every single day? No. The people that truly matter in your life, are they forcing their way into your? No. They're consistently showing up. Their presence is silent but known. Think about it. Sometimes loving someone means making a choice that hurts you but heals them. You let them have their moments. You give them peace, even if it costs you your presence in their life. And that it does hurt. And I know because I've done it. And it sucks. I had to drop my son off because he wanted to stay with my dad so he could finish, so he could start a whole football season, one whole football season. It was a whole year I went without my son. And then I went without him for almost 2 years so that he could start high school and do a whole 4 years in one high school because he wanted to be recruited for his sports. And it was about him. It was his goals that he wanted in life. And I sucked it up. That's my firstborn, y'all. My firstborn. But it was more about him. It wasn't about me. Take a deep breath and trust that God sees the sacrifice no one else claps for. And if you're in it for the claps, if you're in it for the glory, you're in it for the wrong reasons. It's in those quiet choices, the ones when you deny yourself for someone else's good, that you reflect the heart of God. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. That's John 15:13. And sometimes laying down your life doesn't mean dying. I'm not talking about dying here. It means laying down your pride, your need to be seen, your need to be validated, your desire to be there because love cares more about them than the appearance of you. So today, if you're facing a moment where you feel overlooked, edged out, or like you had to step aside when you didn't want to, remember this: real love is sacrificial. It fights when it's right to fight. I'm not saying don't fight. I'm saying make sure the fight is right. Make sure it's about them. Make sure it's about y'all. It steps back when stepping back protects peace. It's not about being a doormat. I ain't telling you to be ran over. Hell, don't let nobody run over you now. Checkmate on that one. It's about being discerning because when you choose peace, when you choose to love someone more than you love being right, you're walking in the footsteps of Christ Himself. Let me say that one more time because I think some of y'all really need to pay attention to that. When you choose peace, when you choose to love someone more than you love being right, you're walking in the footsteps of Christ Himself. Pay attention, y'all. The sun is rising. You have a promise of a new day. This has been CJ in the morning. Keep showing up in love, even when it looks like stepping aside. I hope y'all have a fantastic day. I'll catch you on the flip side. Thanks for starting your day with me here on CJ in the Morning. I hope you're walking away a little stronger, a little braver, and a whole lot more certain that you were never meant to do this life alone. If today gets messy, and it will, remember, you've already got what it takes. I'll be right here, same time, same place, cheering you on. Until next time, my friends, go live it well.